Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Language Arts Gallery. Today, we're going to continue with day 4 of writing a tall tale. Now, we've talked about what this genre is. We've talked about how to develop a hero in our tall tale. We talked about how our hero needs to match the problem that he or she is facing. And today, we're going to talk about how that hero resolves the big problem in the tall tale. So let's get started. Now, remember, we said a tall tale is an exaggerated story. Our main character, our hero, is a larger than life figure. They have special talents or abilities that normal people don't have. These special talents help them to solve everyday problems in outrageous or humorous ways. And great authors use hyperbole in their tall tales. Remember, we said hyperbole is an exaggeration that's aimed at making a point or making the audience laugh. So now let's talk a little bit about how we structure our tall tale. So we've already covered our first paragraph, our introduction. We're going to introduce our hero. Our hero's got this incredible story of how they were born or how they came to be. We're going to give a very exaggerated description of that hero. In paragraph 2, we're going to introduce the problem to the reader, and we're going to do that in great detail. Now, today, we're going to talk about what we're going to be covering in paragraph 3 and paragraph 4. Now, this particular lesson is aimed at fifth grade students. We could really use it from fourth grade up to seventh or maybe even eighth grade. Now, we want to teach our students the concept of suspense. We're raising the stakes in our story. One way to do that is to have the hero attempt to solve the problem and fail at it. So in paragraph 3, we're going to describe how our hero tries to solve the problem, but they fail. Then in paragraph 4, they're actually going to solve the problem in a humorous way. Finally, in paragraph 5, which we're going to talk more about in our next lesson, we're going to talk about the consequence of the hero's actions. Tall tales very often humorously explain how something came to be. For example, why something in nature is the way it is, why a particular landform like a mountain or a river exists. So we can explain that through our tall tale. In our last lesson, we talked about how our hero perfectly matched the problem. Our hero's special ability helped to solve the problem. So, thinking back on what the problem is and who your hero is, I now want you to think, how could my hero first try to solve this problem? But maybe fail. This first attempt is not going to be successful. And why? What do they do that's wrong that causes them to fail? Then we want to work towards our resolution. Remember, the resolution is just how the hero is addressing the problem. And we've taken that first step in paragraph 3, where we're describing that failed attempt. And then we're moving into paragraph 4, where the hero solves that problem. Now, remember, our hero is larger than life. He or she has special talents and abilities that average people don't have. So our hero shouldn't be solving this problem in a way that anyone could solve it. Our hero should be solving the problem in a way that only he or she could solve it. So, for example, if your hero is especially big or strong, they're going to use this size and strength to solve the problem. A person of average size with average strength, they wouldn't be able to solve the problem. So let's go ahead and take a look at our mentor text from the last class. This is our story about Belle Thunderfoot. Now, Belle Thunderfoot wasn't one to sit around while the heartland turned to dust. First, she tried hollering at the clouds, ordering them to rain right that minute. But those clouds were as stubborn as a mule in a mud puddle, and they just floated off without a single drop. Next, Belle grabbed a bucket the size of a barn and stomped clear down to the ocean 3 states away, figuring she'd carry the water back herself. But the bucket sprung a leak halfway home, and all she watered was a confused-looking cactus. By sundown, Belle was hot, dusty, and madder than a wet hornet. And the heartland was still as dry as a bone. So we can see in this third paragraph, I think the author did a fantastic job talking about how Belle tried twice to solve the problem, and both times she failed. Now we're going to move to paragraph 4, where Belle solves the problem and does it in an outrageous way. That's when Belle got her biggest idea yet. She marched to the tallest mountain, sucked in a breath so enormous it pulled birds right out of the sky, and let loose a sneeze so powerful it shook the clouds awake from 100 miles around. The clouds came tumbling together, bumping and grumbling until the sky turned black as midnight. Then Belle stomped her mighty foot, and the thunder cracked so hard it scared the rain right out of every cloud in America. It poured for 3 days straight, and the Mississippi River filled up to the brim, and the cornstalks shot up so fast they nearly knocked the hat clean off Belle's head. So we can see Belle has found a solution to her problem in this fourth paragraph, and she's done it in a very humorous way. We know that Belle is trying to solve the problem and then eventually does solve the problem in very outlandish ways because of the language that the author uses. So let's take a look at that. We want to bring our writing to life with language. We talked about hyperbole and how we can use this. Two other ways great writers in tall tales use strong language is by using similes, which are a type of figurative language, where we compare two unlike things using like or as. If I go back to that third paragraph, I can see here that the clouds were as stubborn as a mule in a mud puddle. That's a great example of a simile. Strong verbs. I think strong verbs are a particularly powerful way to describe a character and describe a character's actions in a tall tale. They show more than they tell. They create an image for a reader. So here I see Belle stomped her mighty foot. Not she put her foot down, but she stomped it. So let's take a look at some examples here. For hyperbole in Belle's story, we see a breast so enormous it pulled birds right out of the sky. A sneeze that shook the clouds awake from 100 miles around, and thunder that scared the rain out of every cloud in America. All great examples of hyperbole. So I want you to think about your hero. What is the solution that your hero could take to solve the problem? My hero is so powerful, and we don't even need to use the word powerful. We can use whatever special ability you're working with your hero on. So we might say, my hero was so whatever, fast, big, strong, kind. Maybe your hero needed to solve a problem with incredible kindness. That might be a wonderful story to teach our children. And then finally, similes, or moving on to similes. We talked about what similes are. We talked about this example, stubborn as a mule in a mud puddle. Belle was madder than a wet hornet, and the heartland was as dry as a bone. So here we've got some other examples that you could complete, or you can create a simile about one of the characters that you're writing about or you want your students to write about. And finally, we've got some examples of those strong verbs that we see: marched, sucked, shot, and stomped. So as we're going through and we're having our students look at their writing, we want them to find those boring verbs like went or did or perhaps said. We want to replace those with strong verbs. Hustled, ran, darted, screamed, shrieked. Those are words that help us to know exactly what the character's doing. So as our students get ready to rewrite, we want to make sure that their paragraph 3 shows the character trying and failing. Paragraph 4 solves the problem in a big and humorous way. There's an example of hyperbole, simile, or a strong verb. Now, depending on the level of your students, you might ask them to include all three. I usually ask my students in 5th grade to include one or two. So then students can go back to their seats. They can work on drafting that paragraph 3 and 4. And if they have time, they can go ahead and redraft their tall tale. We can then bring our students back to the carpet, have them share how their hero tried and failed, how their hero eventually solved the problem, and one piece of figurative language. All right. Thank you so much for joining me in another lesson here at the Language Arts Gallery. Remember that you can find this lesson and all of my lessons in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, which is linked in the video description. And please remember to like, subscribe, and comment on the video so you get all of the videos in this series and all the videos that I put out on academic and creative writing.